Good morning, everybody, and welcome to day one of Vlogmas. What a crazy time. We're really out here. We're on the way to the gym, and I'm gonna talk to y'all while I drive. But essentially, the game plan for today, or the game plan for at least the next few days. I missed day one already, but the game plan for the next few days is to get out as many videos as possible, usually, hopefully daily, leading up to Christmas, but hopefully the end of the new year. I have a friend, Aaron, at Full Octane Creatives that is doing Vlogmas as well. And it's gonna be a fun time. He's doing this, kind of jumped on the boat late. I was really indecisive about it. But that's hopefully what we're gonna do with these videos, is be a lot better about getting videos out, because I had a good streak and then I lost it. So hopefully we get it down, we'll get it going. Let's keep it moving. So just to catch y'all up on a little bit of updates, I have been going to this one gym called Club 4. It has been fairly sufficient in what it's done for me in regards to having a stable gym to be able to work with, but it didn't do, I would say, enough for me to be able to feel like I was actually getting my workouts in. I don't know, I guess it's just something to where I was explaining this to a friend the other day, but my brain needs, oh, there's a bug. My brain needs environment, like a set environment for me to be able to fully lock into something that I'm doing. And it's a bit difficult in that sense, because although you had people that were looking to work out and looking to, you know, get fit and maintain fitness, it didn't necessarily feel like it was the best environment for me to be able to do things like that. And my ears are itching right now because I took pre-workout and I took a long time trying to find this specific angle for me to be able to work with. But it was really tough to like lock in fully and feel like I was getting a good workout in. Like my body would feel it and I would feel progress, but mentally I felt just drained, maybe is a good word. I don't think drained is a good word for it. Mentally I wouldn't feel like I fully was there. Like it just felt like part of the routine and not really something that I was fully present in. And I really started doing a lot of these vlogs or these little videos because of the fact that I wanted to be more present. Like I wanted to use these as proof of me being able to be present. And it was a bit difficult for me to do that because of the fact that I felt like I couldn't fully lock in, and that was difficult. So I took a big risk in paying a lot more than I've ever paid for a gym membership to sign up for a new gym, which is heavily influencer-y for the most part. Like it is very heavily, like a lot of influencers. Or it's a gym that is very, very heavy on being an influencer in that sense, because, you know, they allow photo and video photography. Most gyms don't do that. They allow, you know, just people to be themselves, which is nice. Maybe half of the people there are doing it for persona, but at the same time, it's just a nice gym to lift at. And it's just really, oh man, I don't know, the vibe is different. But the vibe is different because of the fact that people are there to really lift, and you know, even if they're doing it for influencing, or even if they're lifting because they do content creation, the environment is still there to be able to lift it. Does that make sense? So for everything, you know, it becomes an aspect where, hey, we're doing this because we love to. We're doing this because this is our job, or we lift because we need to, but at the environment, that's what I'm trying to get at. The environment is there. And that's what makes it super important for me, is that there's a ton of people there doing the same thing, like-minded mentality, and they're there to get better. And I know that that was probably the same at Club 4 as well, but this is different. It's just a different feeling, and you'll see. But yeah, once again, I'm doing this almost daily Vlogmas style, because I want to really spark my creativity in the sense that I have a lot of video ideas coming, and I have a lot of video ideas in my Notion, but I don't have the urge to get those done. Like I know I have it, they're in the bank, they're ready to roll out whenever they're there, but I don't have the creativity or I don't have the creative urge to make it happen. And I'm hoping that by doing this, and by doing hopefully daily, type things like this, that it'll become a bit easier to be able to do this, that I'll just start recording more often. And there's no better way to start this, just like Aaron said, than by being able to do this in December rather than January. You know, rather than oh, this is my resolution, this is what I want to do type shit, you know? This is also another way of me trying to figure out what exactly my creative style is. I know I do a lot of these, or I do a lot of videos where it's like a vlog type style, and I'm not necessarily a daily vlogging type of guy, but I'm also not out here making full-fledged movies. You know, like, and I know that people like Casey Neistat call their vlogs movies and things like that. And his creative style is so dialed down to what he knows that, but the reason why he knows that is because he did it. He just did it. He just knew, or he didn't know, but he just did it and learned his style in the process. And I haven't done enough for me to do the same thing. And so what I'm gonna do now, hopefully with this, is be able to have more of my creative style come into play, or to slowly learn what my creative style is. Is it something to where I love these small little edits and these daily vlog type styles, or is it something in which, hey, I want to make full-fledged movies, I want to be more creative? So hopefully with this Vlogmas style of video, or with Vlogmas, I figure this out. And of course, this is going to be a challenge, right? I'm already late on one day, but it's a challenge that I'm excited to take on. And the daily vlogging style isn't something that I'm used to, but it will be something that I'm ready for. And this is very much spur of the moment, like most of my other videos are. I normally try to plan out my other videos that I've had on this channel, but I haven't really planned this out in particular. Like I said, I have a few videos in the bank to be ready to be made, and I just have to make them. But the style is something that I'm getting hinged on, and I really need to just do it. So this is me right now, just doing it. And I know that this is a lot more, I would say, personal. Like, y'all, my videos on my channel have been something to where I've shown a lot of personality in, I would say. You know, just the type of videos that you've seen on my channel, or that you see on my channel, which isn't too much, to be fair. These videos, hopefully, like, this shows a little bit more insight into me as a person, but at the same time helps me find my own creative style. Because once again, I'm not a day-to-day vlogger. Like, I don't vlog every single day of my life. Even though when I bought my camera equipment and all this stuff that I bought it for, I said, you know what, I'm gonna record my life. I'm gonna just start recording, and I'm not gonna stop. And then I put my own filter on it. I put my own filters on my own life to be able to make sure that I put out content that I want y'all to see, but that I want to see as well. And that wasn't the original plan for my mini project that I was going to do. When I bought all these camera stuff, I was doing it with the intention of being able to vlog without filters, to live without a filter. Not so much that you see every single little thing, right? Like, there's some things that aren't meant to necessarily be vlogged about, but at the same time that you see what the day-to-day process looks like. Which I don't think I'm very much different from other people, but I have something to offer. And it's taken me a while to believe that I myself have something to offer until year 27. So this is what it's about, is being able to vlog and press record without always having to put too much thought into it, because I overthink a lot. And I'm sure some of you guys are the same way, in which we just overthink like crazy. And granted, that's why I wanted to become a therapist, which is my day-to-day job in the first place. But it is something in which I want to be better about just by being able to do it. And if I can put a little bit more information and process in the way to process into the world by combining my two lives, then I think it'll be a great thing. So yes, this was one long-winded intro into day one of Vlogmas, even though it's technically day 2. But day 1 started on a Sunday, and Sundays are days of rest. So that's my way of easing my thought process into it. Reframing, for those of you that aren't as familiar with therapy with therapy terms. But Sundays are days of rest. Starting now, I will also try to record on Sundays. But welcome to day one of Vlogmas in Jetty's life. Jetty moved, so we're moving. We're first moving to the gym, which I'm ready. I've been slacking too long. I was in Colorado last week, and it was a bit difficult it wasn't difficult to move in Colorado, but I didn't have a gym there, and I realized that I'm very segmented in my life. Like, I have very specific places to do very specific things, which isn't necessarily bad. Like, you know, you segment work stuff into a work environment. You segment gym stuff into a gym environment. You segment leisure into leisure environments. And although I'd like to say free-spirited, I also know that I don't get as much out of it if I haven't separated my specific things into their specific places. And that doesn't mean that I can't go off the rails, you know, well, let's not use that. That doesn't mean that I can't switch it up a little bit or be spontaneous or anything like that, but I know that I get I get my maximum output when I've put things into their specific places in regards to occupation and lifestyle and things along those lines. Maybe this will be a way of me getting into a vlogging, more of a vlogging style, but maybe this will also be me figuring out, or this will be me figuring out my creative process along the way. It is something to where I've needed to narrow this down for a little bit. I've put too many eggs in too many baskets, and I need to be able to really narrow it down now. But I'm excited, and maybe we'll find something out on the way, and just how I want to do things, or if I really want to plan out these next few days within the month, or if there's more that I want to do within the process. But regardless, it'll be something to where I'm excited to do this. This is really long-winded, and I know I'm gonna need to edit this, but this is something in which I'm excited to do because I know I'm gonna know more about myself. If you guys are wanting to come along for the ride as a guy in his 27th year tries to figure out what his creative process is all about and trying to add more into the world, follow along. One thing that I will say that I am very excited about is getting back to the office today, which I don't think anybody has normally said on the week after Thanksgiving, but I'm really excited to get into the office today because it's been a week since I've been in my office, first off, so it's nice to be in my space again. But it'll also be nice to really catch up with my clients, see how the holidays were, and really get back into my groove of things. I realized throughout my last few months as a therapist that a lot of my routine and the way that I function is very reliant on my job. And I don't think that's weird for anybody else, but as someone who really enjoys and loves what they do, which isn't a brag, like this isn't me like, oh, look at me, I enjoy what I do, but more so that because I love what I do, I'm really excited to be back and really learn more about the people that I work with in regards to my clients. So it's just something along those lines. I'm really excited to be back in the office. I'm excited to be back in my own routine again and to really learn. Let's get it. This is so bright, but here we go. Get it. What a hard leg day. It might not look hard, but I've kind of found that my legs are, I would say my legs are fairly strong, but I've also realized that I have like, maybe it's weak hips or something like that. It always tires me out in a good way, right? Like I had a good sweat going on, I felt good, and it was a good way to get into the motion and the swing of things. It was a great way to start the week. Whew. I met a guy whose TikToks, Joseph. I used to watch a lot of his TikToks. I still watch a lot of his TikToks. He's a guy that he's a fitness influencer, and I guess that's one of the cool things about working out at a gym that accepts that, or accepts people to record videos and grow their brand and stuff like that. Because he was a big reason as to why I started getting back into the gym. I would watch his TikToks and I'd be like, man, I should be able to do that, or I should be able to do this. And one thing that I realized throughout my workout is that I say I should to myself a lot instead of giving myself the grace to know that I still can. And so it's almost like the mindset is that, oh, I should be doing this, which means that I no longer have the time to. Or it's like a past tense kind of thing, right? And I need to be more in the present, right? Which is one of the things that we discussed. By doing that, by changing my mindset and realizing that what I should be doing is something in which I did it again. I need to lock in on my mindset of being in the present instead of saying like, oh, I should be doing this or I should be doing that. I need to be saying that I can still do this, I can still do that, because the time isn't lost. I haven't gotten too far yet. I haven't, gotten too far from what I can do. I still have the time to do so, and so I will. And I guess that's the mindset that I need to adopt coming into where I am now. One of those things where I need to and I should be doing better, and there it is again, but at the same time, I will be doing better. And that is one of the ways that I can do that, is by being able to say that, hey, I will do better. I can do better, so I will do better. Does that make sense? But yeah, once again, great leg workout. It was a perfect way to keep it going, for lack of a better term. I'm on my way home now. I really need something to eat because I don't have many appointments today. I have appointments from 3 to 7. This month, I'm gonna start shedding weight because my goal is to have these next 12 to 16 weeks to really lock in and be disciplined, because depending on when I go, I will be going snowboarding, and I'm putting that into the universe. I will be going snowboarding in the next few months. By next few months, I mean either, I wanna say March or February, one of those days. And when I go, I haven't weighed myself today, so normally I'm around, when I ride, 165-ish. And I'm pretty sure I'm like 185 right now, which is my normal kind of, I don't watch what I eat, don't care about my weight type of deal. I know I have the privilege of doing, but now it's time to lock in. I want to ride at my riding weight around 165, 160 if I could swing it. So that's about 25 to 30 pounds of a difference, which means that I really need to lock in to lose the weight. We got a long way, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a disciplined time. We're gonna start off the new year right, but the new year doesn't necessarily start on January 1st. That's when everything starts to kick in. That's when you start seeing the results of everything you've done so far. The new year starts now, December 2nd. I'm just kidding, it started yesterday, but I didn't start yesterday. So the new year starts today. So we're gonna lock in, we're gonna be disciplined, we're gonna eat correctly, hopefully, and then we'll go from there. But no, I'm just gonna be mindlessly thinking now, but I know I have to look and edit Colorado footage. I have 4 sessions today, which I'm gonna prep for. I have to eat. What else do I have to do? I don't quite know just yet. We'll figure that out when we get home. But those are my 3 main things. Maybe a little bit of leisure time fit in there, but we'll see. I think one thing that you'll find, or one thing that I can confidently say about myself, that a lot of my routine and my scheduling is dictated by my job, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just how it goes. But one of those things is that because of the fact that I haven't been in office for about a week and I haven't had my work schedule for about a week, which is just kind of dictated by how my patients schedule and what they can do. I don't have my day-to-day stuff set up like I've normally had the past few months, which once again isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's important to have rest and take vacation and take rest for it's for burnout prevention. But it is something in which I'm like, man, it's kind of nice to have that steady routine of knowing that, hey, this is what's gonna happen today. which has always been a nice thing in regards to my schedule because I have the same hours usually set for every day, give or take a few appointments here and there. But to jump back into things is always harder because I'm not used to that kind of grind anymore of having my patients every single day, even if it was just for a week. So it's a bit difficult and it's a bit tough to know that I have to jump back into that. But it's not a bad thing. It's just a bit of a reset in essence. And I guess resets can work both ways. One is getting my mind right again to be able to help my clients hold what they're working through. But the other thing is being able to ensure that I really lock in for them, because one thing that I've learned as a therapist is that if I don't lock in for my clients, then I don't have a good enough session, which means that they won't have a good enough session, even though your clients do most of the work. Resetting is a double-edged sword because you get used to the vacation and the relaxation aspect of the break, but then it's almost having to backflip, getting back to the idea that, hey, I have to be locked in again. I have to lock in again, but that is part of the work. That's why it's fun. One of the things in my workout that was really beneficial was that I had this, I guess it's what you could compare to runner's high when you're lifting. It's the endorphins essentially, right? But I had this moment of locked in clarity and the music flowed perfectly. I was listening to TV Off by Kendrick for the majority of it. I would switch songs here and there, but I would come back to it. It hit me to a point of just locking in where I was like, man, I'm feeling this. It feels great. I'm here. Let's get it. Well, it hit when I was doing hamstring curls, which I didn't record because it looked funny. And I hit this flow state and it lasted me through the rest of the workout. And it was so nice because I haven't hit a flow state like that in a long time. I've been really inconsistent with the gym throughout my life. I work out really hard for a few. I have this main goal of just getting to a specific point in my life and then letting myself go and then coming back into the gym, being inconsistent and then inconsistent and then consistent and then inconsistent. And it's a lot of back and forth. Totally fine because I can't do anything about it now. It's been a while since I've hit a flow state like that, and it's because I've been locked in for the last at least month and a half now, aside from last week's vacation. It was an amazing feeling being back in a state where I was like, I'm gonna lift. This is all I care about in these few moments. Because of that overthinking thing that I was talking about earlier, where my brain was just flowing everywhere, and it goes everywhere most of the time, if not all of the time. And it makes it very, very difficult for me to be able to just think on one specific topic or one specific thing. It's always, I'm all over the place. And half of that is partially due to my ADHD. The other half is that I have no discipline to focus on one thing at a time, and my brain loves to be all over the place. But to be in that flow state where it's just me, the music, and the lift, a little bit of, little Tommy DeVito action. It was nice. Also, another thing throughout Vlogmas and throughout these next few days and weeks, essentially, is you'll come to find that I spend a lot of time in my car. And that's because I drive almost everywhere. I work probably 30, 45 minutes away from home. I go to the gym 15 minutes away from home. My house is in a really good spot because it's in the middle of everything, but it's also everything is a little bit of a drive. And if there's one thing about Texas, is that we're not a very walkable state in general. Wherever you live, having a car is the most efficient way of getting places from point A to point B. And so a lot of these little tidbits and brain processing moments, my word vomit for lack of a better term, will be spent probably in my car driving from place to place, which I realize takes up a lot of my time now. This little thing is a beast and I really enjoy having it, but it is something where I'm like, yeah, I'm in here a lot. I spend a lot of time with myself, and so now I have friends to come along for the ride, literally, when it comes to these little vlogs, which is starting to get really long. One thing that I challenged myself today on before I went into the gym is making sure that I was able, or I challenged myself to record myself working out. In previous vlog instances, I've really disliked the idea of recording myself in the gym. With Vlogmas here and a challenge, the challenge is to make sure that I get better at my creative process, right? Or being able to at least push myself in different creative ways, or in different ways to find that creative process. And maybe, especially if this is going to be a daily thing for now, one thing that I need to realize is the aspect that if it is daily, then it has to be part of the daily routine as well. And going to the gym is such a big part of my daily routine that I need to make sure that I can do so, that I can make it happen. Having this out whenever I was working out today was almost made me lock in even more, because I realized that I couldn't just lollygag around. One, I only have so much memory on this memory card, but two, what am I gonna do, record myself just being on my phone? Like, I have to be efficient and I have to be locked in when I record my workouts. It's not good content. But yeah, like little rules like that. And so this Vlogmas, on top of challenging myself to find my creative process, I will also be challenging myself to be more efficient and more disciplined in most, if not everything I do. This will be fun. I realize it's Travel Tuesday tomorrow, and I really need to book my flight to Colorado again so that way I can go snowboarding. But I also realized, do points expire? Like, could I just keep accumulating credit card points and then eventually just splurge it all at once? Like, is there like a yearly limit? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. That's a thing. I probably could just Google it, but where's the fun in that? Let me know, because if they don't, then I'm gonna just keep saving. But if they do, then I'm gonna splurge. Also, I just hit the curb, so whoops. Computer, lights on. Well, that was day one of Vlogmas. You can't record counseling sessions unless it's for student purposes, and so, or unless there's written consent, and I don't have either of those. You know, today was a challenge in the sense of I've really pushed myself to do more things than I've done before in regards to this whole thing. And there was a part of me that, you know, how do I want to space this out? I was talking with my girlfriend earlier, and do I want to space it out like every other day? Is this daily thing going to be too much? And I think that's part of the challenge, is being able to do something every single day. And so I'm going to keep at it. Hopefully we get and make it, because I've already missed a day. But regardless, thank you once again for joining me along for the ride. I'm really excited to see where this kind of takes me. I had a lot of ideas on the way driving home, but I'm excited. Day one Vlogmas, that's it. See you tomorrow.